Okay, philosophy 1500. How are you doing today? It's raining out there. Or somebody just left the sprinklers on. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of water. Anyway, I hope that you're staying dry and that you're having a good weekend. You had an assignment that it's due today, the face-to-face assignment, and you were supposed to get in touch with me and to schedule a meeting, whether it's on campus or on Zoom, depending on availability. Some of you have done that. Some of you have not done that. If you have not done that, now it's going to be late after tonight. And since this afternoon, I got nobody that has scheduled an appointment. And for that reason, I don't have any openings open. It will be late and you'll have to schedule a meeting with me, but I'm not blocking off time for it. So now you have to treat this like normal office hours. And as since I'm an adjunct and I don't have an office there, and I have responsibilities outside of Clear University as well, it will literally be at my convenience. So make sure that if you haven't done your face to face, you get in touch with me to see when I have available. And normally I try to acquiesce to the time that you have available, especially when I'm blocking off time for it. So I'm able to do that more. But now it's going to be more or less on my availability because it's late and you had ample time to contact me concerning that. Anyway, this week, this week in our course, you have some interesting topics to go through. You're going to be looking at um, aging and a loved one's death from a philosophical point of view. And in order to do that, really, let's consider the let's look at what aging is philosophically. What philosophical schools of thought really help with you understanding the aging process? Well, utilitarianism is very good for that, and so is a deontological approach. So, thankfully, you've been exposed to these through this course, and so you'll be able to look at this and determine where you stand philosophically, because aging is a very complex process that we go through. It includes our body, it includes our medical health, it includes our emotional well being, it includes the fact that we've lived this full life and now we're looking back, realizing that our days are literally are numbered. And so you face your own mortality the closer you get to um, being dying because of age. Um, so the some philosophers you might want to consider. Well, Cicero, um, Plato, um, even Simon de Beauvoir might be useful in filling in some of that there. So take some time, read the material that we have provided for you in Canvas, and then try to see what additional sources you can find to dig further into it. The other aspect you're dealing with is dealing with euthanasia. And you're going to be looking at, is it ethical to help somebody die? Somebody I love, is it good for me to help them in their life? And we're not necessarily talking about assisted suicide per se. For example, um, 5 years ago, my father passed away. He chose when he was going to die. He had been living with a heart pump for about 2 decades and he was exhausted. And he decided that he just wanted them to disconnect the heart pump and to let him go. And it was a difficult thing. My family, my other siblings, they saw this and they said, "We want you here." They understood that they understood that he was tired and that he it was just really wanting to go. I looked at it and I took the approach of I was going to honor my father's wishes. Now, none of us had to help him in a suicide. All the doctors had to do was disconnect his heart pump. That's all they had to do. And he consented to it. So there was no consent that we had to give. But emotionally, we still had to go through this. Our father was dying because he chose to die. So, how do I deal with those emotions? How do I balance this out from an ethical point of view? Those are some of the questions you're going to be looking at this week. So, as you enter into this is, as with most things in philosophy, potentially difficult because we're facing things about humanity, about ourself that might be difficult for us to grasp because it's not something we deal with on a regular basis. I myself, I look toward my death on a regular basis because I'm 53. I know I don't have that many more years left than if I look at the years I've lived, 53 years, I'm not living another 53 years. I'm not at the midway point. I'm well past the midway point. And so I try to make each day count. I try to make my actions and my words count because I realize now that I'm no longer a youth, that I don't have too many chances to go back and hit the redo button. So this week, like I said, it is difficult, but make sure that you work through it. Now let's look at what assignments you have for this week. Let me pull that up. You have a discussion and you have an assignment on euthanasia. Your discussion, the initial post is due by Friday, and you need to be replying to at least two of your classmates each week, and those are due by Sunday. Also, for those of you who have not done the face-to-face, make sure you contact me to check on my availability of when we can set this up for you. And you have a great week 9. I will be posting midterm grades towards the end of the week. That will be, you'll notice that in Canvas. It'll be posted there. Not for everyone to see, but you can look at your grades and see what your midterm grade is. All right. And if I could find the Zoom window, you have a great week 9.